for the fourth plate. This is echt lekker. I learned a lot of Dutch today by hearing.
Doe it.
Ik ben klaar.
Huh?
Leon is klaar. Ja. I talked to the technique was Leon, and I said, I watched a bottle of loopers the other day. And I told him I want to get one. I want to go to a battle. Are you not gonna talk?
I'm really tired.
I actually have to. I haven't talked to my mom for a long time.
Cannot recommend it.
I know.
It's gonna be in the movie of today. This is the movie of today.
Yeah? You didn't make any videos.
Hmm?
You didn't record any video today.
No.
What did Ellen say when she saw Hide?
He should act it.
Yeah? He looked really good.
Yeah, his face grows.
Yeah. I can imagine you and him in the back with both of you, short hair. You're falling asleep. Need more. Did you get the glass for me? Or it was for you?
That's for you. A long, long time ago, there was a little penguin. His name was Ping Ping. Ping Ping lived in the North Pole. But I don't know if you know, but all the penguins only live on the southern hemisphere. So on the North Pole there are no penguins, except for Ping Ping. And you may wonder why? How did Ping Ping come on the North Pole? Well, that's the interesting part about this story. When Ping Ping was really young, he found out that there was a sacred place that only the elves could go to. Because, I don't know if you know, but in this earth we are really material based, but there is a lot of magic still. For example, in the North and South Poles there are still elves and all kinds of creatures, unicorns and stuff, all these kind of creatures still live there. So, but Ping Ping was really tiny and really young, and he knew about this place that was sacred and no animal could go there, only mystical creations. But Ping Ping was really he couldn't see the separation between a mystical creation and an animal. He would even say to his mom, "Hey, mom, what is the difference between a mystical what is it? Creation or mystical? What is the word?
Or animal.
Or animal." And then his mom would react, "Yeah, but come on, unicorns and elves, and you see them. Yeah, but what am I then? Yeah, you are just an animal. What is that, just an animal? Ping Ping would say. Ping Ping, just go, just have fun. And Ping Ping would just be like, and out of a bit of anger and also a bit of like this was the perfect excuse to go on an adventure, he would go towards the mystical place. So he knew that he had to had to go towards one star. Well, I don't know which star because I wasn't there.
Who told you this?
That's for later. Because I'm from the Netherlands, and my uncle lives in the north of Norway, and my uncle told me this. But he comes later in the story. You want to hear this or not?
Of course.
Okay. So Ping Ping went to this star. It's a bit of a red, shiny, purple star, and he had to walk there. So he walked there, and then the mystical forest started. And in the mystical forest, there you could the tales go that you would get separated from if you are a mystical creature or an animal. So he walked in, and then he heard some noises like really hard noises, breaking of wood. He would get really scared, but would keep on walking. And he heard again, like it sounded as if it was like a giant, like as if the trees would fall, but not fully, not like, just only like this. Breaking of wood, but not fully falling a tree. And he would go further and further, and the forest would get darker and darker and darker, and then a really low voice said, "Hello." He said, "Hello. What are you doing here?" And Ping Ping answered, "Well, I want to see what's in the mystical place." "Okay. Are you a mystical creature?" the thing asked. And Ping Ping would say, "Well, I don't know. What is a mystical creature?" Well, I suppose that a mystical creature has some mysticism." "Yeah, but what is that?" You can pass," said the giant. He saw, because it was really dark, but he saw it was a giant now when he looked up.
Like a human?
Like a giant human.
Wow.
Like a real giant.
Wow.
Out of confusion, he said, "Just continue. Just talk to the wizard, because I don't know about this anymore." So Ping Ping would walk further. Apparently there was a wizard, so he walked further, and then he saw little light in the far away. So he would walk towards the light, and the light became bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then he saw there was a giant white gate with a sleeping old grey-haired, really long-haired man sitting on a chair that goes like,
Inside the house?
No, yeah, but
in the garden?
Yeah, this kind of chair. But he would sit. It's all white.
But I mean, the gate was like the ones in Harden. They're big.
No. Yeah, like this, but like giant. Wait 1 second. You want to hear the rest?
Yes.
Okay, so no, it's like a giant gate. You have seen on Schiermonnikoog this giant jaws of the whales.
Yes.
Like this.
Yes, we saw in the stress relief.
Yes, exactly. This really, but like 4 times as big. 4 times as big, like the jaws of a giant. Like a megalodon.
who was that?
It was where the light came from. It was a really white light of a big gate of giant whale bones, and a really kind of old man, but kind of big also, but not too big, not so big as the giant, would sit in front of it like on a really white ivory chair that goes like back and forth. You know, I don't know what it's called. And he was nodding a bit. He was falling asleep a bit. Okay, yeah. So he said, and then he said, "Wizard," and the wizard would be, "Oh yes, yes, yes." "Wizard, what is mystical?"
What? Who? What? Huh? What? Who? I was dreaming. Hi. What do you do here? You are a penguin.
"Yes,
What do you do here?
I want to see the mystical place."
Yeah, but you are a penguin. You are not mystical.
"Yeah, that's what my question is. What is mystical?"
Well, mystical is that you can do supernatural stuff,
"Like what?"
like fly.
"I can fly underneath the water."
Yeah, no, but like that you can move objects that you don't touch.
"I can move the air that comes out of my lungs."
Yeah, no, that you, when you think about it, that you then create it, or like when you move it with your mind.
"Like my wing, like this."
Yeah, no, that's not what I mean. Like mystical is the force that's beyond nature.
"What's that?"
Well, it is.
"You're not a really good musician. Can I now go inside?"
Well, I suppose you can. Okay, you can go inside.
And the mystical person would be, or musician, did they say that? Would be like confused, and he would sit down again and he would just light his pipe and just start smoking, looking in front of him. And Ping Ping, that was his name, no? Yeah. Ping Ping would walk further. And, oh, watch out. Ping Ping would walk further. And then he would go through the light gates and he saw all of a sudden all kinds of creatures. Like dinosaurs, but then with all kinds of rainbow colors and like unicorns, elves, little butterflies that with human bodies, like everything you can imagine, like trolls, like everything, like beyond the wall, but like cool as shit. You know, like everything that you like, little houses, giant houses, tree houses, houses of trees, trees of houses, and all kinds of magical stuff. Like everything you can imagine, there was there. And Ping Ping was like amazed by it. It was like, whoa.
What?
So much magic. What's magic? I don't know what's magic actually. And Ping Ping would be like, hello, I'm Ping Ping, to everybody, and everybody would be like, huh? Whoa, it's a penguin. Wow, oh hello penguin, what nice that you are here. And he would make all kinds of friends, and he would get like really nice conversations with everybody who could eat, and he had nice food with the elves, and he had like super nice baths in the hot water springs with the giants, and he would get all kinds of fruits in the glass gardens of the cloud fairies. Like the cloud fairies have the best strawberries on top of the clouds. Like,
don't make me hungry, y'all.
okay. So, but after maybe a little bit.
Yes.
After the story you can get it.
Okay.
Okay. So, but after a while he would get really comfortable and would be like, he would hear something about the center. And he would say, what is the center? What is the center? And then everybody would say, yeah, you cannot go there. And he would get really like, ooh, what's that? You know?
Yes.
And then he would be like, and he would go investigate a bit. And then he got a really good friend, one elf. And his name was 12. And he would go ask like, where's the center? And you cannot go there. And where is it? Well, after at the time, Pin knew. And he would go in the middle of the night when everybody was sleeping. So he would walk towards the center. And there was a big barricade. And he would climb over the barricade. And he saw a giant hole. Like a black hole.
The center of the earth.
Exactly.
There was a big hole.
It's a big hole.
Full of beings.
No. Carmen. It's not the story. So, but then he would look in and he was like, whoa, and he would do like this. And it would go like super, it wouldn't stop, the sound. It was like, like the delay went on forever. And then all of a sudden he heard 12 behind him, the elf. What are you doing? And then Ping would get scared so much that he would fall in.
And
he
he
was
went
like,
to the South Pole.
no, he was on the South Pole. And he was like,
North Pole.
he indeed fell. And he fell and fell and fell. And then it became really light. And then he saw a giant crystal, a giant white crystal, when he came towards the middle. And then he would pass by the crystal, and it would go away, and it would get darker and darker and darker. And then he would land on top of snow, but now without all the animals. Just a few, like old houses and stuff. And there were all kinds of like houses, but no animals. And also no mystical creatures. And actually there are also all kinds of mystical creatures, but he didn't know that then, and everybody was sleeping because it was night at that side. Because he would indeed he fell from the South Pole to the North Pole. And he saw the center of the earth, that was a big crystal. He discovered that. And he would like, and
Color.
what color? White. And it was a big like pyramid, like two pyramids into each other. You know, like a pyramid on top of a pyramid in each other, like
A star.
yes, like a star, a 3D star. And wait, after the break we go further. Because it only records until 10 minutes. And then he would be there, and there was only like everybody was sleeping and it was cold, and he knocked on the doors but nobody would open, and he would walk and he was really cold, and he was really feeling alone, and he was screaming in the hole, and it was like 12, where are you? And there was no answer, and he would walk and walk and walk and walk, and he would just glide and walk and swim through the sea and everything. And then after a while, he was so desperate, he was just sitting down against a tree. It was like really sad. And then he heard, and he felt really hard against his tree. And he looked around the tree, and I saw that there was a guy with long skis, like langlaufen, you know, skis, with his nose against the tree, saying,
not again.
It was Norway, he was speaking Norwegian. But then Pin said, "Why are you talking so strange?" And the guy would say, "Well, this is my language." And luckily the guy could speak the same language. And he said, "Oh, I think I broke my nose again. I always break my nose against this tree. Hello, what's your name?"
I'm Pin. What's your name?
"I'm Paul.
Oh, nice to meet you.
You want something to eat or something? Because I live around the corner here. I've got this whole fjord for myself. You want to go with me?"
Okay.
And Paul would get Pin in his backpack, and Pin would see, and he would ski down the mountain towards a little nice house, and towards his towards his little farm. His wife had a farm, and he was a tree keeper. And they started to know each other, and Pin helped on the to get fish out of the fjord, because he would like fish, like they would fish together, and Pin would of course swim and get fish because he was really good at it. He trained, and for years he would be there, and he was really happy on the farm with the people there, with Paul, and I don't remember her name, and the son and daughter of Paul, and it was actually really happy. But after a while, it's like, yeah, I want to. Pin had a lower voice now. I want to get back. So Paul was a bit. Everybody was really sad. But he went back, and Paul and everybody would say goodbye and would go to them to the hole with him, and then he would let himself drop in the hole and would come out, and everybody there on the other side was still the same and didn't age a day, and he was happily back at his place and told everything to his mom, and his mom didn't believe anything, but it was fine. What?
But the mother, didn't she miss him?
Yes,
For years.
Man, the mother was so happy to see him back. It was like the world, everything. And all this nonsense about fairies and the other side of the world and the core, it didn't really matter to her also. It was fine. It was all fine. Pin didn't like that she didn't believe, but Pin was really happy that his mom was just happy, and he was really happy to be with his mom again. And yeah, that's the story. Bye, Pin.
Chocolate. Pin, bye.